it off. I just blew it off.
Blowing it off. I see how it is.
Blowing it off today. Yeah, let's go because I'm seeing in 90 minutes. I'm seeing Terminator, whatever the hell it's called.
Terminator
Destruction
4.
Terminator Pants.
Terminator Destruction Pants. Got it. No worries. This will be a good.
What the hell is it called? Dark Fate. That's it. Dark Fate.
There you go. It'll be a nice, clean, quick one today.
Fart date.
Fart date.
Terminator fart date.
All right, here goes, everybody. Enjoy this in 3, 2, 1.
This is the morning stream, but it's not in the morning, it's at night. Tmspm.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tmspm. It is the morning show that you love and know. By the way, I've gotten like 5 people, Brian, this morning emailing me or on Twitter saying, hey, I watched that first episode of that new morning show on the Apple service, and they say TMS a lot.
We're going to have to cap it out and use it for our show then.
We're going to have, that's a good idea. But we're going to have a problem because it's going to get
have a problem. Number one, we're going to last a lot longer than they do. But number two, is the show within a show really called The Morning Show?
Yeah, it's called The Morning Show.
Really The Morning Show. I thought that was just the name of the TV show, but it's really, she's the host of a dumb show called The Morning Show.
Yeah, and they truncate it to TMS constantly. So either we got to change our name or they do. And I wonder who has the most resources to make one of those things happen. I don't know.
Yeah, you mean who has the most monetary resources?
Yeah. Please don't be as big as like Stranger Things or any other monster streaming hit. Please be bad and short-lived and go away, please.
No, but see, here's the thing: when people online are searching for information about the morning show, what are they going to find? They're going to find TMS, the morning stream.
And then people looking for TMS are going to find that thing by accident and go, oh, I guess the podcast doesn't exist anymore. See, it cuts both ways. I guess,
wow. I didn't realize Brian Abbott looked like Reese Witherspoon. Huh, interesting.
Your chin's different, though. A little bit different chin.
Only, you can't tell because I have the fur on it.
That's right. Well, anyway, we'll deal with it as it comes, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, who am I to really say?
I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be just fine.
Yeah, I'm not that worried about it. But thanks for all your concern out there. Okay, a couple things today.
Yeah.
Number one, I'm not going to give away what it is yet, but the mid-song today, or the song Leaving Today, is one of my favorite songs of all time. So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
Secondly, I want to just mention that of all the BlizzCon things I watched this morning, the one that sticks out to me to be the biggest deal, and probably not a surprise to too many people, is the announcement, finally, of Diablo 4. And it looks really good. The cinematic was bloody and great. The gameplay looks insane. Everything looks good.
I mean, the gore, like the blood, like turning into that little shape above, and then like turning into a big cape and like, kind of an embryo sac.
You see all little veins running through it and stuff. Super gross.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's very cool. So if you haven't seen that intro, go look at it. Some of the best work they've ever done. But man, Diablo 4, get it in my hands. It cannot be fast enough. I'm ready for this game. I cannot wait. Yeah. They didn't give any kind of dates.
That's the mobile game, right? It's Diablo 4 is the mobile game.
No, gosh, dang it. It's like Brian wants me to jump through this microphone and pull his eyes out and eat them. No, it's definitely. You know what? Funny you should bring that up. No mention of it.
No, I noticed that. I heard you guys talking about that on the live stream.
Not a single peep.
Yeah.
Out of those guys.
Not a surprise. Well, I mean, yeah, probably not a surprise for the opening ceremonies, but I'm sure at like the Diablo What's Next thing that they've got, that I think it actually was at 1:30 or 2:30 or
that one. I did watch that one. It didn't get too deep into the new systems and stuff, but it was.
Oh, but they didn't mention it at all there either.
Oh, nothing there. Nothing about Immortal.
Oh, wow. Okay, see, I would have thought they would have saved that for one of their individual.
Well, they're bound to do like a Q&A at some point, and when they do, somebody's going to ask. I mean, they have to, right? It's too weird.
Ro will step up and say, so can you tell me about he won't ask that. Actually, I think he's Q&A for World of Warcraft and World of Warcraft only, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. but I'm sure we'll see if we see a Roe appearance in the Q&A panel.
Although, oh no, we won't because he didn't go this year. I just realized he's not there.
I thought he still went.
No. Whole bunch of people
geez.
I usually see there are not there this year.
Wow.
Honestly, it's Patrick and Garrett. They're like the only two of my circles. I mean, I know a lot of people there. Like Jules went. Of course. Pat Crane went. All those people go, but. And there's people at Blizzard and things that we always see. But like our normal crowd of about 15 names I could just pop out right now all didn't go this year. So super weird.
Yeah.
Next year, we'll see.
It's a bummer. Yeah, we'll all be back. I'll meet back at the meeting stone 1 year from now.
That's right. That'll be about the time the new WoW expansion, Shadowlands, comes out. About a year from now.
Yeah.
I hope Diablo 4 is close to that. I heard from someone who's in the industry, not someone at Blizzard, but in the biz, whose name I cannot divulge, who says he thinks 2020. And he bases that on a couple of things. One, that they announced this thing for current gen consoles, and by the end of 2020, we are on to new generation of consoles. And he thinks that that's a hint that it's sooner than later. So we'll see.
Makes sense. Now, do you think if they would have announced, and then we'll cut out the Blizzard talk if there are people who are like,
we have plenty of shows for that, everybody. So this will be the end of it. Yes, Brian, go ahead.
Right. Do you think that if you wouldn't have gotten the leak about Shadowlands or the leak about Overwatch 2, and today in the keynote was the first time you were hearing all the stuff about it, like Diablo 4, you would have been a little bit more excited about those two things as well?
Yeah, because I felt like the Diablo 4, well, even the Diablo 4 thing kind of got leaked because they showed an art book in a German online store that had Diablo 4 art in it.
Yeah, right.
Which is now all confirmed. So kind of everything got leaked, which is a bummer because do you remember 2014? They announced, you were there for that one. They announced Overwatch without a single leak. Like nobody had heard of it.
Yeah, when we didn't know anything about it until the cinematic started playing. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was a really great moment, and
I kind of just like gasped in amazement.
I kind of wish that would have happened here for all of these projects, but everything that was big that got announced all got leaked, and that's a bummer because I think it does diminish. I mean, for me, not so much because I'm here and I know what to expect and it's no big deal. But if I was there and had all that leaked ahead of time, I'd be a little miffed because part of the reason you go is not to get. Well, look at me going pro anti-spoiler here, but yeah, you want to go there to not be spoiled. You want to find out. I know Icor. I know it seems like I'm contradicting myself. Slightly different.
I thought you didn't like spoilers, Scott.
Usually spoilers don't cost you $300 to get in, is what I'm saying.
Right.
That makes a big difference. Yes. Anyway, enough Blizzard stuff. We are here to do a PM show. That means we begin with this.
App Slappy.
I was just talking to Eric yesterday about music we use on the show. It's always very nice to let us use his tracks. He says he may have some new stuff, so looking forward to seeing. Cool. Yeah, he's doing.
By the way, a little Dan update, a Dan Patrice update.
Yeah.
Last night, had some people over, as you probably saw in photos of me and the Scooby Gang.
I did.
And a couple other neighbors came over, and we played a game of Dude.
Oh.
Which was a recommended game from Dan several weeks ago. It's the game basically where you have a bunch of cards that all say "dude" in different spellings, and you have to figure out who among your group is looking at the same card you are, and you keep going dude, 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 and then when you think you're right, you go sweet, and you flip around the cards, and if they match, you get rid of them. When you get rid of all the cards, you go chill.
Wow, really?
Yeah, so those are the only three things you say in that game. Dude, sweet, and chill.
That is some hippie business that you had going there.
And then also picked up that Horrified game that he recommended last week and have not played it yet, but boy, does it look cool.
Oh, I was hoping you had. I wanted to hear about that one. That seemed neat when he was describing it. So
I think Tina and I can play that 2-player because it's cooperative. I think it's like 1 to 5 players. So we might play that tonight when we get back from the movie and dinner.
Well, let me tell how quickly my crappy night went, okay?
Yeah.
We had plans.
We get a little taste of this, yeah.
It was going to be great. We were going to have some fun, watch some movies, eat, help kids at the door with the candy and the whatnot.
Give me some Funko Pops.
Yeah, all that stuff. Looking forward to it. And Carter came home from work today, sick as a dog, and so did Nick. And man, was he sick. We think he got food poisoning. We're pretty sure it was like
Ugh.
this burrito place we all like, and he may never eat there
Yeah.
again. Right? You're done? He's nodding at me. He was so sick last night. I felt terrible for him, but we made it through. It just wasn't the most memorable Halloween I've ever had. And Kim and I, all good so far. So we're hoping that was food poisoning for him, because I didn't have any what he had. And in Carter's case, I think she just got some flu bug.
The 24-hour virus thing, or is she still feeling it today?
She's still sleeping, so I think that means she's still feeling it. But it's not been great here at the house. And then the baby the baby was coming by last night because we wanted to see his little costume. He's Frodo this year, his first year, I guess. And we were all worried about how long they'd be here because we don't want him to catch anything, and just that whole. It just was not. It wasn't the Halloween we had planned on.
No, that's a bummer. Did you at least still give out Funko Pops to the kids coming to the door, or did you?
I had Nick lick them though before I handed them out. Just slather all over them, yeah. And
it seems like because then there's the trick, right?
Yep.
They get the treat, but it's slathered in trick.
And I actually learned a little something about this. Kids don't want Star Trek stuff.
Oh, really?
Because in that bucket were all kind of pop toy types, and some of them were TNG characters. I think that may have been it, just TNG. So like, there's a Picard and a Riker and a Worf and Data, Geordi. They're all in there. And everybody came, and the kids they'd dig around and they'd look, and they'd grab the Wolverine and grab the Incredible Hulk and grab the other thing, and they're grabbing all the Marvel ones, even ones I don't think they knew what they were.
Yeah.
And they're just taking all of those, and by the end of the night, we have 3 left, and they're all Star Trek TNG characters that nobody would take. I don't think they know who they are.
That's funny. Wow.
It's a generation of children that haven't been brought up to know what Star Trek is, and I'm super bummed about that.
That is a bummer. Yeah.
Yeah. No Trek.
Well, all right. Well, sorry, kids.
Yeah.
Beam yourself into ignorance.
Yeah. Good luck to you. All right. Let's do apps. Where's my phone? Oh, here it is. Okay, Brian, I'm going to tell you about my app.
Tell me about your app.
This is part of the Apple Arcade offering. However, it's entirely possible this is going to show up somewhere else. I don't know if it's a pure exclusive or not. Okay. And I haven't bothered to look, so that's on me. I suppose I could have found out before today's program.
I should probably look while you're doing that, too, to see if I've got... That's a little hint to me. Well, not an intentional, but an accidental hint to me to see if... my
good idea.
Game is available somewhere else. Yeah,
good idea. So let's see. I'm gonna just go look it up. Let's see. Pac-Man. It's called Pac-Man Party Royale.
Oh yeah, nice. I saw this,
and it's very cool. I think, although it does have some problems, and a lot of people don't like it for these problems, but we'll talk about that in a second. Anyway, the game's called Pac-Man Party Royale, and as the Royale might indicate, there is a aspect to it. Yeah. There's an aspect to it that is like a battle royale where people enter and only one survives the whole thing, right?
Okay.
Except in this case, it is 4 players. You all play a Pac-Man of some sort, different Pac-Men. And the Pac-Men are different colors. There's a yellow normal Pac-Man. There's blue and green and other stuff. Or you can add bots to the match in case you can't fill out your teams. The only real complaint I have about the game is actually there's no central matchmaking part of this. There's plenty of games on the service that do, so I don't know why this one doesn't. Maybe they're going to add it. But you have to do it like old 3DS friend code style. So I would text you a number, and then you would get into the game, enter that number, and now you're in my game. That's a little kludgy. I don't think it's the best way to do this. But anyway, there's talk they may improve that. Then the game plays a little bit like Pac-Man. What was that called a few years ago? That was
the 4-player Pac-Man.
It's a lot like that arcade one that you're thinking of. I bet.
Yeah.
I just can't think of the name of it. But anyway, whatever that was called. It's a lot like that, and the big difference is the 4 of you bounce each other around. But if you get a power pellet, which are always floating around the map and kind of trying to avoid you, then you can eat. Other characters and ghosts. There are ghosts and characters.
So not just the ghosts, but the other characters.
Correct.
Too.
And also you can bump a character really far if you want to do that and kind of screw up his day. As the match goes on, it gets faster and faster, and even Battle Royale style toward the end of the game, the circle starts to close. It's almost like the bits are breaking up, and the arena gets smaller and smaller until one of you is left standing.
Wow, so that very much like Fortnite kind of thing, where the
very much, yes.
Interesting.
It's basically a battle royale, but just 4 people. It's kind of the idea.
Yeah.
You eat dots, but the dots don't matter so much as does the power pellets, and getting around the maze matters and that sort of thing. It starts out very slow, so it's not like you're running for your life too immediately or whatever. But it is really fun. I really liked it. I played with some fans because I put it up on Twitter and said, hey, let's try this thing, and a bunch of people got into my game, used my code, and played. If they added matchmaking to this that was a little more automated and less manual, I think this could be a really fun hit for people.
That's cool.
You can also play it locally. Like if enough people have phones around you, you can all just sort of play over Wi-Fi with each other in a local way.
Oh, and you play on different screens. Is there a way to play 4 people around the same screen?
No, although
because I guess you'd need to do the different controllers.
Correct. And this does use controller if you want to. I just used the touchscreen. It was fine. You just swipe to move whatever direction you want to go. Mm-hmm. I found it to be delightfully fun and frantic and a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. I think it has potential, and I hope they keep updating it because it's pretty neat. I like Pac-Man. I like weird versions of Pac-Man. That's definitely what one of these is. So check it out, and you pay best of 3 is how it works. So you'll play until one of you is dead, or all of you is dead but one. And I'll give it a thumbs up. I'll give it a thumbs 45.
I mean, it's not like
degree.
You're paying extra for it. So if you've already got Apple Arcade, it's a worthwhile.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I think just where you're deciding to spend your time, I think it would be more valuable if they added matchmaking, but we'll see if that ends up happening.
And is there single player as well you're playing against AI?
Yeah, you can totally do bot matches. You can either do that all on your own, or you can fill out a team with bots if you don't have enough slots, or you can play like 3 of you and no bot. So there's ways you can play without any bots at all. My experience was if you added bots, it was kind of like chaos. In fact, you know what it reminds me of? It's like Bomberman a little bit in a weird way. Even though you're not letting off bombs, it's got that kind of quality to it with the way the multiplayer works, and it's very fun. I think it's good. And again, I can't find anything that says it's anywhere but Apple Arcade right now, but that may not mean much. It may be on Android soon enough or something. So watch for it.
Very cool.
What'd you bring?
All right, I brought one that I've checked, and it is absolutely only Apple Arcade. This thing, though, is it's winning accolades left and right. GameSpot called it one of the 12 best Apple Arcade games. Paste Magazine called it one of the 10 best games of GDC 2019. It's an official selection of the Indie Mega Booth GDC Showcase. Anyway, this thing is really cool, and this is something that maybe had it not been for Apple Arcade, I probably never would have discovered. It is a puzzle game, but it's unlike any other puzzle game I've ever played. It's a book puzzle game. The game is called Dear Reader, and its tagline is a game of literary wordplay. Basically, you're looking at a book, you're looking at text, and you're using different puzzles to kind of complete that text. So you're figuring out what words are missing. You're figuring out what stuff is in the wrong order. It's almost like you're an editor and you're fixing editing mistakes in an existing book.
Oh, wow.
Here's the cool thing.
Okay.
It's you're working with books that are public domain, but they're classics. So when you start playing, the first book you get is Pride and Prejudice. And by playing through, I'm already 5 chapters in, by playing through the chapters, you're kind of reading the book. So it's a way of reading almost the cliff notes of these classics that you may have never read by playing a game. They got Jane Eyre, they've got Moby Dick, Age of Innocence, Wizard of Oz, The Time Machine, The Turn of the Screw, what else? The Trial, Frankenstein.
They got Did you say Moby Dick? You said Moby
They
Dick.
do have Moby Dick. Yep.
Yeah.
Scarlet Letter, Jungle Book, Legend of Sleepy Hollow. And you unlock these books as you go through and play this game.
Yeah.
This is freaking brilliant. This is like a really, really cool and cool music while you're quote unquote reading these books. This is like a good way to, I always say, I don't have time to read more books because I'm too busy playing games. Well, now I can play a game and read a book at the same time.
Yeah. So wait, are you really just? I'm looking at some video right now. Like you're filling in mistakes.
You're filling in missing words. You're swapping out lines that are in the wrong order. You are, and what's cool is you got a little timer, so you gotta like look at the little droplets, the ink droplets on the bottom of your screen to make sure you've got enough time to complete it. And you can play without that ink droplet thing. It's just like if you want a challenge, you can kind of earn more credits towards new books. But it's so cool. It's really, really cool. I totally dig this.
I've never even heard it. I can't even compare this to another game. It's the most unique thing I've ever heard of. It's really weird. Yeah. Would you call, does it feel brain trainy? Like, do you feel like you're, I don't know.
For sure.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah, this is probably really good brain training stuff because you're reading, it takes comprehension as opposed to just reaction, right? So it's you're comprehending what you're reading. So it's got to be as good for your brain as doing crossword puzzles and things like that. So
Chat room says proofreading public domain books. Yeah, kind of the Wraith.
Kind of, yeah. Existing public domain books. I mean, these are actual. You're not, reading some unpublished author, Fred Smith, and his Wizard of Oz fan fiction.
No, Fred Smith is the worst. Don't read his books. He's bad.
Oh, he's horrible.
Yeah,
he's horrible.
Anyway,
this is a blast. It's called Dear Reader. It's available on the Apple Arcade and like dozens of books that are unlockable in this thing.
That's great.
And
super rad. I kind of desire to play this. I at least want to see what this is like. Yeah,
at least play through the first few chapters and see what you think. And as you do more chapters, it unlocks new types of puzzles. So I've unlocked the first 5 or 6 different kinds of puzzles. Some swap, some fill in the blank, missing letters, things like that. And it's like, oh, this is great. I want to unlock more.
You're right. This is the kind of game you probably never even notice if it wasn't part of this.
If it wasn't for Apple Arcade and awards and recognition like this, for sure.
That's really cool. All right, there you have it today. So it's Dear Reader and Pac-Man. What was it?
Battle Royale?
Not Battle Royale. Sorry.
Pac-Man Fever.
No. No. Gosh,
Party Royale. Party Royale.
Party Royale. Jeez, and it was PR. It says PR on the icon, but I never remember what it stands for. Pac-Man Public Relations.
Right.
All right. Now this.
And you can always follow me on Twitter.
Time for your Twitter questions. The Ask TMSPM hashtag is the thing to use if you want to ask your questions. You can still send some in now. I can catch the latest ones if you want. A lot of people have been doing it. So here's one here from Peter Fisher, who says, am I too late to ask a question? No. Then he goes on to say, what's your favorite Halloween candy? And do you have any left from last night? And is that due to any underhanded handling of the door, at the door that'll need an investigation? Meaning, did you cheat and keep your own candy?
Right.
Okay, so I had no candy because I am committed and I haven't eaten any sugar in 3 weeks. So, or that kind of sugar. I've had an apple that has sugar, I guess, but no candy bars for me. As tempted as I was, because for me, it always was and probably forever will be my favorite. I like a Milky Way.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You like the whipped chocolate?
Yeah, big time. Those are kind of my go-tos. What do you prefer on a Halloween?
I'm a Kit Kat. I think Kit Kat's my go-to. And I like just the regular American regular chocolate Kit Kat. I know we got a bunch of Japanese Kit Kats and they were all really good and tasty, but for me, give me the classic original regular Kit Kat.
I like them too.
And I did have a couple.
Oh, look at you. Well, that's because you can cheat. You can cheat.
I can spend points on that. I actually did my weigh-in today, and I'm only 0.2, so 0.2 of a pound up from last week.
That's not bad.
So I think I did okay, and I still even had a friggin' mod pizza, a cauliflower mod pizza yesterday too. So
can we have a little follow-up on that? So Brian said on the show that he goes, their cauliflower crust is really good. You should try it. And I've been pretty skeptical of such ideas. Because it just sounds like it's not going to be good no matter what happens.
Right. It's cauliflower. How are you making pizza crust out of cauliflower?
I not only liked it, I prefer it. Like straight up, I prefer it to the normal crust. It's very good. It's everything I like in a crust. Thin, crispy, crunchy. In this case, a little more dense, but I like that. And I don't even need the other kind. I'm good.
Yeah. No, it's a nice crackery crust. And if you would have told me that it was, if you would have said, "Oh, we're experimenting with a different kind of dough crust," be like, "Okay, cool," and tried it. I said, "Oh yeah, it's a really good dough crust, nice and New York style, really crispy." And and then if they were to say, "Oh, it's cauliflower," I wouldn't believe them.
But
you totally believe that it's just like a different kind of dough crust because it's
very
different. When
good.
they brought it out and they started loading it up, though, was it kind of curled up like a taco?
Yeah, it looks kind of wrong at first. Like you're like, ooh, what is this? And he kept asking me this question. He was very quiet. He goes, "Is this allergy or preference?" And I go, "I'm sorry?" "Yeah, allergy or preference?" And I go, "I really can't hear you." And Kim goes, "I think he's saying, is it allergy or preference?" And I look back at him.
Okay.
I look back at him and he goes, "Yeah, it's allergy or preference." Like, oh, okay, preference then, dingus. It's not allergy. Because the idea is, I guess you don't want to cook that next to a regular one because you're still...
Right,
Yeah.
or if you say I've got a gluten allergy, then there's maybe other ingredients that they'll avoid putting on there because of the...
Oh, good point, right. Yeah, but I had the Jasper, which is like chicken sausage and...
Nice.
Oh, it's so good.
I did the Caspian, which is my go-to anyway, pizza-wise. Barbecue sauce, chicken, bacon, red onion.
Oh, that sounds so good right now already. I just had it and I want it again. Anyway, Mod Pizza, they make the crust. Go check it out.
They do.
All right, here's one from Laundry Scent. I'll ask you this. Can you see these? I don't want you to. I'm going to do
Nope,
one.
I'm not. I can't see them.
Okay, this one says, what do Willem Dafoe and Liam Neeson have in common, but not Will Wheaton? Meaning, what do those first two have in common that they don't have in common with Will Wheaton?
Sure. What do Willem Dafoe and Liam Neeson have in common that they don't have in common with Will Wheaton?
Yep. I would not know this, but it's an interesting answer. So don't feel bad.
They're older than 50.
Well, that's true. Although Will Wheaton's almost there.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what. That's a weird.
It is weird.
I imagine they have a lot of things in common that Will Wheaton doesn't have.
Here it is. Their first legal name is William. So Willem, as much as we tease Nicole, his real legal name is William. So is Liam Neeson's first name, just doesn't use it. And Will Wheaton is not short for William. It's just Will.
That's crazy. I never even realized. I never even made the connection that Liam would be short for William. I know that seems obvious now that I think about it.
Yeah, because
I always thought Liam was its own thing.
I did too.
Liam.
Yeah, look at what we've learned, Laundry Scent.
Liam Gallagher and Liam.
They're probably having a fight right now. There's probably a big fight right now at the Gallagher house, and they're fighting hand over fist. All right, here's the next question. Hey, Scott and Brian, I've got one question for you. What happened to fall? A few weeks ago, it was 70-degree weather, and now it's snowing and below freezing. I think we've checked out this season.
Can you believe it's November 1st already?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. He said cheated. I think we got cheated out of this season. Yeah, it feels that way to me, too, because it was cold.
I said the same thing.
Way colder than it should have been this last month.
We had super hot temperatures for a long time, and then just bam, went right into winter, and I do feel like we missed out.
Nobody likes it.
No.
All right, Jack Fox, what is the name or game series that everyone seems to love but you have zero interest in? You cannot say Fortnite.
but it's true.
It is true. That's 100%.
I mean, I've already talked about. I won't say Skyrim again for this answer because I kind of already used that for another one. So another game series that everyone's all excited about that I'm not as excited about. The you know what? It's that Smash Brothers on the Nintendo.
Oh, Smash Brothers.
It's like all right,
I'm with you. I feel you on that one.
Yeah, it's like I like it. I like it more for the let me check out this character. Let me check out that character. If they came out with a Marvel version of Smash Brothers, I would check it out, but only purely long enough to play each character through and see their animations and their finishing moves and stuff like that. Yeah. And then I'd probably never play it again.
And you don't mean Marvel versus Capcom had Marvel characters,
well,
but you don't mean...
Yeah, I mean that's more like a fight,
fighting, sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. For me,
I'm not crazy about any of those kind of games. On the whole,
right. There's moments you could sit down and play. You and I could play Street Fighter and have a good time.
Yes,
but
exactly.
It's not like we're going out of our way for it.
Right. Like if I'm going to a party and you're there, and everybody's like nerdy folk like me, then I totally play that. But so as far as sitting down there for myself, it's like, yeah, that's all right. Thanks.
Kind of with you on that. My answer is the Dark Souls series. I just can't get into it, and everyone loves Dark Souls but me, so it's fine. I wish I did. I wish I had any interest in it. People are like, oh, you got to at least do Dark Souls 2. That's where it peaked. I'm like, I don't even want to. I'm not in the mood.
Do not want
to play. Midget Wookie says, I can't believe Scott didn't go to BlizzCon. Why? Why is that hard to believe? I guess maybe everyone hasn't heard my reasoning. My reasoning this year was not anything to do with this Asia stuff. It was because I wanted to do family things. A lot of which kind of got weird last night because everyone was sick, but still.
Yeah.
You know, you do what you got to do.
My reasoning was that was because of the Asia stuff. Asia is not the band performing for the closing ceremonies.
They still haven't announced it, by the way. Did you know
I
that?
know. I know. It's like,
what are they doing?
Announce it. If they wait till Sunday, it's going to be too late.
I mean, maybe. Oh, yeah, I don't know. It's really weird that they haven't said. I thought for sure at the opening exercises. Gosh dang it! At the opening ceremonies, they would at the end of that say, "And don't forget, at the end of the thing, we're happy to announce that Blur is playing."
Yeah.
Not Blur, but Blah.
Oh, Blur. Now, see, Blur, I would see.
Woohoo! That's the only
Gorillaz would be a great. Wouldn't Gorillaz be a great BlizzCon closing band?
Yeah, because don't they do like a really cool stage thing with all that cartoon stuff and everything?
They do. They put a screen down over the band that's somewhat see-through, and they project, the characters onto that screen.
Yeah, that's true. Midget Wookie, that is true. I almost always go. I have not missed since 2011, so it does feel weird. But the other reason was money. It's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can easily go to BlizzCon and come home $2,500 poorer.
Totally.
Than when you left.
Between flight and rental car or Uber or Lyft or whatever. And
hotels are ridiculous.
You can't go out there and, at least I can't go out there and not go to Disneyland and check out the new Star Wars crap. And
sure. And the Hilton's not $50 a night. It's very expensive. So sometimes you just got to sit one out. That. It seemed like the right year. Yeah. Nobody, wasn't hired to do anything crazy, so it just seemed like the one to do. All right. What good movie to see this weekend? Says I Beat a Bloke. Brian, you're gonna go see one. I guess we don't know if it's good yet.
I'm seeing Terminator Fart Date, and I'm excited about it. And the reviews are saying it's the sequel that Terminator 1 and 2 deserved. So that makes me happy.
That's good.
I'm seeing it on a humongous screen with recliners, so I expect. And it starts in less than an hour, 5:05. I expect I will be asleep by 5:45, and Tina will elbow me to wake me up and say, "Oh, you missed it."
Yeah, you missed the whole thing. You missed the whole damn thing. Wicked Kitten says she saw it last night. Wicked Kitten, give us a 0 to 10 review. What did you think of Terminator Fart Date? We'll see what she says. Anyway, while we wait for that, how about this question? Oh, she gave it an 8. That's pretty good.
8. That's good. Yeah.
That's
they
not
say
bad.
It's the third best Terminator movie.
Yeah.
Not a high bar to like 3, 4, Salvation. Any of that stuff isn't hard to beat.
I kind of like Salvation, but I also acknowledge it's not great by any stretch. But there's things I like about it. Mm-hmm. I like 2 a lot. Like my order right now would be. Having not seen this, my order would be 2, 1, Salvation,
which is 4, right?
Yeah, and then back to 3. And I didn't see the one. I didn't see the one with the Dragon Queen.
With Targaryen.
Genesis was it?
Yep.
Yeah,
I did see that one and was not impressed with that. So, boy, the Christina Loken one was number 3. I would say. That exact order: 2, 1, 4, 3, 5.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
By the way, that one sound clip. Do I have it here? Is it this one?
Shit. Okay.
No.
You imagine that shit?
No. Hold on.
The shit you cook is shit.
I can't find it. Anyway, it's the one where Todd.
What about the shit weasels?
No. Where Todd, what's his name? Todd, the adoptive parent of John Connor.
Oh yeah.
Calls him a piece of shit, but I can't find the. Oh, shit. No, that's not it.
What about the shit weasels?
No.
He's going into the shit.
I like you keep going back to the shit weasels.
I have tons of these.
Shit. What's wrong?
I can't find it.
I'm the doctor's.
Wait.
I wonder what that shit you.
Tap, 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 shit.
I can't find it, but that's a good one.
Tap, 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 shit.
What were you talking about there? What was that about, I wonder? Huh.
I don't know. Maybe a very bad game of Pokemon Go.
Oh, you know what? I know how to do it. Hold on. Peace. Sorry, this is really stupid, but now I just want to find it.
Now you gotta, now you're committed. You're determined, Scott.
I am, or I was, and I can't. So forget it. All right, I can't find it.
Rocco Roo, Nicole's not going to be happy. I don't know if Scott heard this, but last week for their Friday show, she and Mark do a live show, like a Wood Whisperer call-in thing, answer a Q&A thing, and they fired up the stream, or Mark fired up the stream, and didn't tell Nicole. Yeah. And so they're talking, and she's kind of being really salty with them, and like she's trying to do something on the computer, and he keeps asking her questions. She's like, no, this ends that day, and this ends that day, okay? And he says, you better check that tone, little missy. And she goes, well, you're just frazzling my shit right now. And he goes, okay, all right. By the way, we're live. And she looks up at the camera. She makes this face. She looks up at the camera. Oh, really?
Yeah, I knew that was going to bite her in the butt the minute she went after me. Doth protest too much. You know that whole thing.
Yeah, she swears like a sailor when she's not on a podcast.
Yeah, that wasn't even Call of Duty related.
It was a beautiful thing. It was hilarious.
Well, that's awesome. Okay, so where the heck was I? Oh, let's do one more of these. We got one from. Let's see. What? Okay, here we go. This is from Twitter.com is. Okay, here it is. Captain Trips. I like this question. He says, what do you remember about the Millennium Bug? Y2K. I have strong memories of it because the company I worked for at the time thought that we were going to die. So they had us all working like 24/7 for the final month of the year, trying to make sure all systems were good, that nothing was going to go weird. Like they were terrified about it. And that's my memory, is all of that paranoia. And me the entire time going, I don't think anything's going to happen. I think this is stupid. And I can't believe everyone's losing their mind, but nonetheless they did. And of course nothing happened. Didn't do it, and nothing we did made it better. It just didn't happen. No, right, exactly. Yeah, we had the software, the newspaper sales presentation software, and I think because it was all written at the time, it was all written in SuperCard. Well, no, in 2000 it wouldn't have been. That would have been in C++. Anyway, it basically took the developers maybe 20 minutes to fix. It was like a little search replace things like, and I think it all came down to, well, if we don't fix this, then when they do a presentation, it might say 1900 in tiny letters in the very bottom right corner of the pages they print for a presentation. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Like, oh, okay. Not a big deal. It was so stupid. It was just so stupid. I feel like we got punked,
Well, but Scott, it was a more we got to think about that. That was a more simple time. I mean, there weren't smartphones all over the place, and orange Cheetos in the White House, and people running planes into buildings, and TSA, and like, you got to look back at 1999 kind of with this weird innocence of like, man, there was so much that we did not know that was going to be happening in the next 16 years. Holy crap.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, for sure. Like the world was about to change in like a year.
Yeah.
In a pretty significant way. So, yeah, I don't know. Just at the time, I remember thinking, we're just wasting our time. We should be playing Unreal Tournament or something. What are we doing? Right. Unless that game doesn't work on, January 1st, 2000, I don't care.
Right.
Anyway, one final question.
Okay.
This is from Lady Monica BlizzCon Face.
Lady Monica.
Yeah. She says, if you were arrested with no explanation, what would your friends and family assume you had done?
Oh my God, it's one of the best questions we've ever had. I love this.
Pretty good. What would you
All right, so let's see. Brian arrested. What does Tina think? Oh, this, because it might be different for different people. All right, so what would Tina think?
Yeah, let's do it to our significant others because they're the ones that'll matter.
Yeah.
This is hard.
You better go first. You better go first because I'm thinking.
I know this is hard. She'll think that I know what she'll think, and it would be the first thought in her head. She would probably quickly realize that it's irrational to think it, but she'll think it for a second. Okay. And that will be, she'll think I said something on a show that was so bad that it got me in trouble. That's what she would think. And she would quickly go,
"Oh, would she think that? Oh my God, that totally."
And she would quickly go, "Well, this isn't China. We don't do that here, so it's fine." But at first, I'm 100% sure she would think it was something I said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we should be asking them.
I may ask her this later. If she was down
I know. I'm gonna ask Tina. I wish she was. If she was right here, I'd ask her. Yeah. What would she think that I would do to get arrested? She probably would immediately think like that it was some sort of identity hack thing on me as opposed to by me, but
not that you did.
Not something that I perpetrated, no.
Okay.
No.
Well, I'm gonna actually see if I can get Kim on the air.
She probably assumed that it was Richard Cheese related.
Yeah, well, who doesn't? At the end of the day, it's always Richard Cheese.
Are you asking?
Yeah,
her?
If she picks up, she may be. I think she might be with her sister. Hold on. Kim? Oh, hi. Where are you?
Ooh.
Oh, hey, I have a question for you. You're on the air. Can you answer me a question?
Sure.
Are you on your watch?
Yes.
Oh, that's why it sounds bad.
Get on my phone.
No, you're okay. You're just far from it, I can tell.
Hold on.
All right. This is really important stuff.
Like she's Dick Tracy.
Yeah, she's talking like Dick Tracy. Okay, are you there now?
Yeah.
Okay, here's the question. If I was arrested with no explanation, what would the first thing in your head be that I had done? What would you assume I had done?
Put a bag of poop on someone's driveway.
That is not what I thought you'd say.
You know what? It's funny that she says that now. It's like that kind of makes sense.
Now
Now
it makes sense. Thanks, hon. Bye. All right. That's pretty funny.
I texted Tina, but
huh? What? No, we're talking about mom. Poop on a driveway? Well, the example of poop on a driveway is what she thinks I would do to get arrested. It's a long story. It wasn't about you, I promise. Except you're the only one in here that put poop on someone's driveway before. Anyway.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, I'll ask Tina, but I tried to get her to come down here, but I don't know. She's in the middle of doing something, or she just didn't see her phone. So.
Well, if not, we'll have a follow up.
I'd love it.
Good question, Monica. That was excellent. Nice job.
Yes.
Thus concluding today's Tmspm episode. Look, here's the deal. Monday, when we're back, Brian will review this film. We'll find out if it was any good or poop. So
we'll have an MMFR, baby.
A Mad Max Fury Road. Come back Monday for it. And in the meantime, if you're like, man, what I just heard was rad. In fact, I see a few names in here that found us through the earlier today stream. If you're like, man, this is really cool. How can I support this show?
You'll come for the Diablo 4. You'll stay for the poop jokes and Brian.
That's right. So go speak with your money wallet over at patreon.com/TMS. Patreon.com/TMS is the place to go, and you and your money wallet. Frogpants.com/TMS for everything else. We are out of here. Brian, we should play this cool sounding song right now.
Dang right we should. This is a request, very sweet request going out to, come on, pull up the screen. There it is. Going out to Ronnie T. Hey, Scott and Brian, if it's not too much trouble, I would like to request a song for my beautiful wife Heather. It will be 5 years this week since we about lost her to uterus cancer. I won't give the bloody details unless you want them. No thanks.
No, thank you.
And we would like to thank the stars above that she is still here with us. Her favorite song is Southern Cross by Crosby, Stills, and Nash. I think, oh yeah, I knew Young wasn't with the band for that one. If you can't find anything that is suiting, then a shout out would be great. I know it's too early to get a fish sandwich, but what about a tender crisp bacon cheddar ranch?
I have that handy. Hold on. Sorry.
It's a tender crisp bacon cheddar ranch.
There you go.
Nice. Love the show, though, and thanks for keeping us laughing since show one. Signed, Ronnie T. Nice. By all means, Ronnie T. This is one I'm happy to play for you, and I'm glad that Heather is all right and with us still and happy and healthy and all that stuff. This is okay. I'm going to tell you one other thing. Apple Music does not remember my settings for playlists. Like I set a playlist format, and I quit out of the program, come back in, and the playlist format is reverted to like not list style.
I saw that somewhere as a known bug, so that fix is coming.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right.
Yeah.
Fix it. This is from the Pickin' On series, so that means it's either Iron Horse or Cornbread Red, because those are the two guys who usually do their Pickin' On series. So it's a bluegrass tribute to Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. Here is a bluegrass version of Southern Cross.
All right, sounds good. We'll see you guys on Monday. No film sack this weekend, so don't be looking for that.
BlizzCon.
BlizzCon.
Randy.
That's how it always goes. BlizzCon weekend.
Randy.
So, we'll be back the following week, and there will be Dungeons on Sunday, assuming everyone's well enough to play. Carter's supposed to be finishing a guest appearance on there.
Oh,
so
that's cool. Nice.
I don't know how she's going to be feeling, but we'll see.
Still waiting for my invitation.
Yeah, we got to get an Ibit one-off going. I'm telling you, I have floated it. I have sent in a floater on this. So
Ibit one-off was my wrestling finishing move, by the way.
I'm glad you said wrestling. I really am. Thanks everybody for listening. We'll see you Monday. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Frog Pants Network. Get more shows like this at frogpants.com. I don't have a thing to play here.
What are you doing?
What is that?
What are you doing?
Okay. All right. I don't know what that was, but
it's pretty fun.